Man City beat a team that beaten Bayern and Barcelona. Are they the best at the moment? You can say so. You can say that they are the best at the moment, but they are not the best. Maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago, because the thing is, Man City is a very complicated one. They don't play with a striker, so just like we saw in the first half against PSG, there are teams that can pass around them and they can press all they want. But given the right teams and players, I think this Man City side can crumble. And it's at the very best at the moment right now. Man City are the best. If you were to ask me, it's a little bit balanced. Sometimes I know it sounds weird to say that, but a little bit balanced, because there's Ruben Diaz and there's an inverted wing back with Joao Cancelo as well. So a box to box player like Gundogan, who can dictate tempo as well. So there's a lot of balance in that team. So I think pound for pound, they are the best team at the moment. Yeah, so that's pretty much sums up your question right there. Up next is should ask you for betting odds now. Who's gonna win the Europa League? Then I'm assuming you heard my previous podcast episode, and I predicted Man City against Chelsea in the final, so that's why. But anyways, going back to your question, who's gonna win the Europa League? Is it Man United, Roma, Villarreal, and Arsenal? All right. So it's a very tough one. Man United, of course, favorites. Villarreal plays some good football if you watch La Liga on their day. I think it's straight up. It could be Manchester United, but I don't think it will be Man United Arsenal in the final. One of those English teams is gonna go out, and the English team. I'm just making my prediction, seeing at how I don't watch too much of Europa League football. That's the problem right there. I might need a new podcaster. Yeah, I'm going with Manchester United, Villarreal, my second choice, and third choice is Roma, fourth choice is Arsenal. I know Roma got players like Pedro and Mandzukic is in there, so they are a tough nut to crack. Roma. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna put my bags on Manchester United. City coming. Next question. City won't do the quadruple. How do you access that from a mile away? The thing is, for me, it's just I feel like it's humanly impossible. First of all, the Premier League is the most competitive league in the world. I'm not saying they are the best, but they are most competitive league in the world, and it's kind of like an all-star league, and to me it's like when you want to do the quadruple, by the time the Carabao Cup semi-finals and final came in, it will be the around time of the quarterfinals of the Champions League. So all the English football years that I've watched, only Man City that has gone for all four, and I think it's humanly impossible for you to do that, because you need to sacrifice one of them. They can't win the quadruple. No team can do it. It's humanly impossible, no matter how great of a tacticians you are. And then there's the league. And when it comes to the league, you're not facing any other team. You're facing some of the teams who is chasing for Europa League football, who is preventing from relegation, fighting for relegation. That's all at stake. And you have to drop one, and the great Manchester United side didn't do it, right? I believe the Liverpool side didn't do it. No team in English football history has done it. So no, and I saw it from a mile away. But actually, I did predict it. They're gonna win the FA Cup instead. But they win the Carabao Cup, but they were eliminated by Chelsea in the FA Cup. So yeah, so it's not accessing, but it's just from from what I've seen, no matter how good of a football you can play, unless you're telling me they really have a like great luck in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, where they meet some of the Conference League team that managed to pull through in the knockout round. And that's another thing. To me, it's like if the FA Cup and the League Cup is a knockout round, if it's played in another league system, they maybe have a chance. Where I know it's impossible to have a league system as a for FA Cup, but I'm just saying, like in metaphorically speaking. But if it's not a knockout format, I think there will be a chance for a team to do the quadruple. More games, yes, but you have points to be declared as champions. You can draw to be declared as champions. You know what I mean? So no, yeah, I saw that, and every time Man City, the talk of Man City during the quadruple, I was like, nope, they can't do it. There's no way they can do it. So I hope that answers your question. Is Conte the most underrated player? No. I think he's one of the best right now in the world, especially in central midfield. But I get what you coming from, where he is underrated as if like because he plays for Chelsea, and Chelsea is not in the Champions League week year in year out, and people don't really talk about it. Yes, but there's a reason why Paul Pogba at France enjoys his football. And there's a reason why right now we are seeing guys like Mason Mount, guys like Christian Pulisic. This Conte, I know he's not a holding midfield, but he's an all-around box-to-box kind of player. And it really shows that it's not a joke when they say these guys have two lungs, because I think he's what he is. He's from his Leicester days, and I think he has elevated himself to become one of the best midfield generals in world football. He's not very commanding. I can tell that he is he let his football do the talking. He wear his hearts on his sleeves kind of player. But yeah, he's not underrated at all, man. I don't know where you get it from that he's underrated. But no, he's a highly rated player for sure. And the last one, how come you don't talk about Mourinho's sacking? Well, thank you for sending in. What's there to say? I'm not a big fan of him, but I like his interviews. He always got people talking whenever he does his interviews. But when he was hired as the Man United manager, I was like, it's never gonna work. I don't see a team like Spurs or a team like Manchester United playing so negatively. You can keep it tight all you want, but if you were to play negatively, that's not even football. It's an easy way of football. You know what I mean? So no, to answer your question, it's not a surprise really. When he was sacked, I think the social media was like, oh my god, did he resign because of the European Super Cup? No, I think because Daniel Levy, he saw that coming. He saw like sacking him was the right idea. But unfortunately, I have zero idea as to why he sacked him 6 days before a Carabao Cup final. It could have been a turnaround. It could have been momentum shift for Tottenham if Mourinho and Spurs did beat Guardiola's and Man City. And I don't understand it. The only guy who have beaten Guardiola in a cup final. I don't understand why did he Daniel Levy sacked him. But I don't feel like we got plenty to talk about. Jose Mourinho, his track record is not good. To me, he doesn't move with football because football has moved on, and he's still in his Porto days tactically. And what bothered me the most is he likes to throw his player under the bus. So it's never about his mistake. I'm sure he knows some of it is his mistake, but the vibe that he's giving in his interviews He's like, I think he comments something about same coach, different players, stuff like that. It's I understand you want to be honest, but nah, you don't do that to your player. If a coach was to do that to me, I was like, no, I'm not gonna play for you. You're just gonna suffer, and you're gonna get the sack. Yes, you get the sack, and you get millions and millions of dollars, but at the end of the day, your resume doesn't speak for itself. No team right now, no highly Champions League rated team would want to come close to this guy. And I don't know. I foresee him maybe coaching Portugal after the Euros, or maybe coaching Galatasaray, or maybe back to Italy, Inter, or Lazio, Roma, Atalanta, maybe some lowly rated teams like that, where he can try to elevate these teams. I think that's where his biggest ability is to get an underdog team, because in 2010 when he won with Inter the treble, nobody was predicting Inter to win the Champions League at all. People talking about Barcelona, Man United, Bayern Munich at the time, Chelsea. People talking about that, but he knocked out Chelsea in the round of 16. I remember that, and then he's more well versed in those kind of team. I'm not upsetting any Inter Milan fans right now, because at the time I think Inter wasn't the favorites, but he again, it was a different time, it was a different type of football, and he wasn't there wasn't any real hype when he went to Inter. You know what I mean? So, and I think he is well versed like that. When the focus is not on him that much, I think at the time Juve was still in Serie B. It's the Inter Milan's era at the time. AC Milan was just dropping. Nobody really challenged him. But when it comes to Europe, they are still like the second choice for everyone. People wasn't really talking about them. And then boom, that's where he will shine. That's where his team will shine. So yeah, I mean, according to your questions, I don't have really any good, not say good, like anything to talk about when it comes to Mourinho's sacking. And one thing for sure, that it doesn't suit his profile, English teams, because people want to see their teams to be entertained. Results are results. That's just social media talk, but the hardcore fans doesn't want to see you parking the bus and get result, because people's not gonna remember it. Like, who will remember? Like, people remember Mourinho winning the Champions League for Inter. People don't remember that Inter side. Who was playing in the striker? It was what? Diego Milito, right? And was what? Thiago Motta was there? Alvaro Recoba? No? Yeah, I think Eto'o was there. Eto'o was playing right back against Barcelona in the semi-finals of the Champions League. So, it's those kind of things. People won't remember that side, and it's people remember the Juventus side that went to the semi-finals and lost to Real Madrid. People remember the Juventus side that that lost in the final against Dortmund, against Real Madrid. So that's what I meant by remember it. Of course, we can. People like me will still remember the Inter Milan that won a Champions League treble, but if you talk about the players, it's not really. Wesley Sneijder was in that squad, right? Was the centre back, I think Walter Samuel and Cordoba, and I think Maicon was in there as well. And then who's the left back? Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, so yeah, no, Jose Mourinho. We remember Mourinho as the manager, but I see this like a mile away, and I'm not just talking about. I know I didn't say anything about Mourinho in the previous episode. I did, but not much. But Jose Mourinho, nothing interests me about him in football. I'm sorry to have a little dig at Mourinho. I think his type of team doesn't suit with guys like us who loves this game, and it's a shame that he managed to, his resume got him jobs like Manchester United and Chelsea twice, Real Madrid. The great Alfredo Di Stefano wasn't happy with how Real Madrid displayed themselves against Barcelona. So nah, No. He doesn't sit well with me the way he sets out his team to play. But anyways, enough of Jose Mourinho. Thank you so much. That will be it for episode 19. Thank you so much for sending in some feedbacks, some questions, and for those questions that wasn't answered here in our podcast, we'll be posting it on our Instagram social media page. Keep on a lookout for that if you want to know, and of course feel free to DM me anything you want. Doesn't have to be regards of football, it can be any sports too, but of course I'm more knowledgeable in football. But yeah, anyways, this is Hans Saleh. It's episode 19 of the 433 podcast. A lot of football still to be talked about. I just want to mention Ajax looks to be leading the Eredivisie and looks good for the Eredivisie title, and I think Eric Hantag has done a masterpiece job. But I think at this moment I just check on my social media that Tottenham is in talks with him. So don't know how, but congratulations to Ajax in advance. There's no way they're gonna lose the title now. I also want to mention that Man City could wrap up the league title by this week if Manchester United fail to win. They could wrap the league title by Tuesday. So congratulations to them. They'll be taking on Crystal Palace. Looking forward to this week's football, especially the Italian Serie A. We might see Juve without the Champions League next season. All the talk about Cristiano, will he leave or not? I don't know. We'll cover that once the story got hot. Anyway, this is episode 19. I am Hans Saleh, and I'll see you soon on episode 20 next week.